I am finally recovered from my crazy viral week of sales from last week, as well as the cold that I had, and I had a more normal week. So let's get into what's sold for June 12th through June 18th across multiple platforms that I sell on. So my grand total of sales for the week was $4,162.88. On eBay, I sold $2,330.88 worth of sales. I think I said that incorrectly, and that was for 48 items. On Poshmark, my sales were $1,438 and I sold 46 items. On Mercari, my sales were $250. I sold 4 items for the week. On Vestiaire Collective, I had one sale, that was for $70. Depop, I had one sale, that was $35. Kidizen, I had one sale, that was $9. And then the remainder of my Shopify orders from my crazy week last week, go check out that video if you haven't seen it yet, was 3 orders. They ordered 2 items. Anyways, the grand total was $30. So yeah, that brought me to just over 4,000, just under 4,200. So a really great week of sales. So let's get into it. I wanted to talk about this week, not necessarily what sold for the highest amount of money, but I wanted to focus on what sold quickly on some of the platforms. And so I kind of went through and cherry picked what I thought would be useful information. So let's talk about eBay first. The first item I want to talk to you about is this All Saints men's shirt. I picked this up at the bins recently, and it was called the Army Spotter shirt. I listed this on June 16th and it sold on the 18th, and it sold for $42. So I was very pleased with this. Obviously, I was really excited to find an All Saints piece at the bins. I was surprised that it sold so quickly. I mean, if we're talking about like in a day or 2 days, that's pretty quick for me, because clothing can sometimes sit just based on the item and if it's seasonally appropriate. And this was long sleeve button up, not necessarily something I think of for summer. Okay, the next item I want to talk about is this Eddie Bauer messenger bag. I also picked this up at the bins recently. It didn't sell in 2 days, but I did list it on May 31st and it sold on the 18th. So that's pretty quick in my opinion, or 2 weeks. That's pretty good. I'm definitely pleased with that. When I saw this at the bins, Eddie Bauer is a brand I kind of sit on the fence with about picking up. Sometimes it can be a great pickup, other pieces maybe don't make sense. However, this messenger bag was in pretty good condition, and I did look up comps before I left the bins, and I had seen what other people had previously sold this same bag for, and that made me confident about picking it up. So $35 I was pleased with. I probably would have also taken anywhere between $20 and $35. So again, $35 worked out perfectly for me. Okay, the next item that sold pretty quick, and I actually had a couple pieces from this brand sell pretty quickly recently, and it's the brand Toad & Co. And this particular style was called the Chaka, C-H-A-K-A. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but Chaka skirt. This sold for $24, so not a huge sale, but a quick sale. I listed it on the 16th, it sold on the 18th. I like those sort of flips, quick flips. Those work out great for me and my business. And this brand in general, I'm definitely going to be looking for it more. I've always kind of picked it up, but it just seems like it's been selling really well for me lately, or it's just selling really well in general. And so for that reason, I'm definitely going to keep my eyes peeled and definitely going to keep like condition and style in mind when I'm picking it up. Okay, the next piece that I want to talk to you about that sold on eBay is this Lululemon men's shirt. It was the Metal Vent Tech 2.0 shirt. It sold for $36. I listed it on the 15th and it sold overnight on the 16th. So that's a great flip for me. Totally pleased with that. Was I surprised that it sold that quickly? Yes, no, I'm not sure. Lululemon is kind of one of those brands that it is desirable, but you kind of never know what piece is going to do well. $35 or $36 sale, I'm totally happy with. So let's move on to Poshmark. I had a few more that I wanted to talk about on Poshmark that when I was looking through my sales for last week, I just saw that they sold faster for whatever reason. So I just had more of those. So I have more of those to tell you about. So the first item is this Olga Berg purse. I did receive this in liquidation. It did have a small flaw, very minor in my opinion. There is these rhinestone beading on the bag, which you'll see in the photo here. It's kind of held together by like chain or something. And so anyways, it had just split in the chain, and you could probably just sew or stitch it back together. So anyways, it's not noticeable at all when worn, but obviously I disclosed the flaw. This sold for $40 and I listed it on May 16th. It sold on June 13th. So just under a month. I did want to point it out just because I didn't want it to be all clothing that I talked to you about, throw in a couple accessories as well. So a month, not bad. The next item I want to show you was these Athleta Skyline pants, and Athleta is just a brand that I like picking up because it's a brand personally I like to wear, and so, you know, sometimes you just have an affinity for certain items. So anyways, these were, what's interesting is that they were a 4 petite. Now some people shy away from selling petite items or maybe tall items. Basically, if it deviates from normal sizing. And so anyways, I just wanted to point that out. They did sell for $20 and I listed them on June 2nd and they sold on June 14th. So, you know, 12 days, not too bad. A $20 flip, again, that was okay. That works for me. They were also really cute too. Okay, the next one is also not a really big sale, but I just wanted to point it out because it did sell actually in the same amount of time as the last sale. So June 2nd to June 14th. It was this Madewell tank. It was a size 3X and it was new with tanks. It was new with tags. And yeah, it just sold for 18 bucks. Not a huge sale. A lightweight Madewell piece. I mean, Madewell is, you know, the pricing on Madewell is, you know, not crazy high, so I didn't really kind of expect much. This probably only retailed for, if I'm guessing, 35 to 40, so I knew at best I was probably going to get half of the retail price if I was lucky. Given that it was plus size, maybe helped increase the odds of it selling. I'm not sure, but that's okay. I'm happy with it. Okay, the next item is this brand. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's AMO. Ammo? That's what I want to say, but ammo is spelled AMMO. So AMO, these trouser pants in a size 30. These sold really quickly. I listed them on the 15th. They sold on the 16th. I did pick these up from the Goodwill outlet. I was really excited when I saw that brand because I've never sourced that brand from the bins before, so that was great. And they sold for $81, which is awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better sale price on that one. They did retail for a lot more than that, but it is pre-owned merchandise, and so obviously the price is going to not be as much as retail pricing. Okay, the next item that I want to talk to you about that sold really quickly as well was, it's a kids item. The brand is called Decathlon, and they are a pair of breeches, riding breeches, and I always pick up riding breeches when I see them just because I think they typically sell for, like, retail maybe for $60 to $80 and sometimes higher, just given the brand. And these were a kids brand, so kids items are gonna resell for maybe a little bit less, right? Just because it's, yeah, you get where I'm going here. But anyways, I listed these on the 9th. They sold on the 17th for $20. So I was really happy about that sale. And yeah, think about picking up riding breeches if you see them in the wild. Okay, next let's talk about Mercari. So on Mercari, I had 4 sales last week, and the first one's kind of fun. So the first one is this iPod. They were iPod socks. So this is obviously an older item. I don't know if it's considered vintage yet. I'm trying to think of when the first iPods came out. I remember I had a friend in college, my freshman year, who had an iPod. I remember it was like a big old brick. And anyway, so that was my freshman year. So that would have been in 2002. So we could be nearing vintage for this style of an item, because I think this one was intended for the smaller ones, and once they came out with the iPod color. So anyways, long story short, you can see from the photo here kind of what they look like. So I picked these up actually at a thrift store near my home, and they had priced them, I think, at $2.99, and I resold them for $35. So that's not so bad. I listed these on the 17th and they sold on the 19th, which was yesterday. So sorry guys, I included a couple sales in here that were from the 19th. I got really excited about these ones. So anyways, yeah. So one thing I will note is that I was relisting and delisting yesterday. All of yesterday, I was relisting and delisting a lot of items, and I remember this was one of the ones that I did. So relist and delist your items, because when I did it, it sold. So yeah, there's that. The next item I have to show you is these Spanx shorts, and I listed these on the 31st and they sold on the 17th, so the 31st of May. They sold on the 17th of June. I didn't write down the price here, but I'm fairly certain off the top of my head. Look at me, just like being totally unorganized. I'm so unclear about my dates because my son didn't have school yesterday, and so I'm just totally thrown off by my days of the week. But I'm pretty sure that this sold for $30, but I'm trying to pull it up quickly as I talk at you. So yes, they sold for $30. There we go. The next item I have to show you is, I also didn't write down the price, but I have it here now, is these Echo slip-on shoes. They kind of have this braiding on the top. I thought these were way older than they actually were. I did list them on February 16th, so not necessarily a fast sale, but only had 4 on Mercari, so I figured let me just tell you about all of them. So February 16th, they sold on June 15th, and I sold them for $53. So yeah, I had to wait a while, but I got more money. I don't know. There's kind of that fine line of like, you know, selling items quickly, but maybe getting less money. Yeah, I don't know. What do you prefer? The fast flip, you know, what is it? Slow nickel, fast dime. I think it's fast dime, slow nickel. Anyway, I can't remember. Okay, and the last Mercari one that I want to tell you about is this Sally, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Juliana jumpsuit. This sold for $132. Again, not a quick sale. I did list this back in January of this year, and it sold on the 15th of this month, this past week, and really pretty jumpsuit. You know, I don't always think of Mercari as a platform where I'm going to sell items for over $100. So when that happens, obviously that's really exciting. So if you've ever thought, well, I can't sell my nicer, higher end, more expensive pieces on Mercari, or I'm not going to bother listing them, maybe think twice about it. I just cross list as much as I can, just so that, you know, it has an opportunity to be seen by lots of different people. Okay, the next item was on Vestiaire. So I had one sale on Vestiaire last week. I don't always have an item that sells on Vestiaire every week, but I get excited when it does happen. So this was a maxi dress from the brand The Couples, really pretty with these sunflowers all over it. This sold for $70. I listed this last February, as in 2022. Yeah, I've had it for a while. And so a lot of the items that I have on Vestiaire are from when, what's the other one that was called? I can't even remember. I want to say ThredUp, but it's not ThredUp. Whatever that other platform is that closed down, Tradesy. Vendoo moved all of my listings over to Vestiaire, which was really great. But the only thing is that when all the items migrated over there, it made it really easy, obviously. But one thing is I find that listing on Vestiaire is not the simplest. Yeah, even though I do use Vendoo to cross-list items over there, I don't find it to be the easiest platform to cross-list onto. So I don't know, let me know your experience. Okay, I did have a Depop sale. So it's kind of on these fringe platforms that I don't sell a lot of items on. I had sales, which is always super exciting for me. So I sold an item on Depop, and I haven't had a Depop sale in a while, and the brand was Nostalgia, and it was this really pretty floral dress. It sold for $35. I did list it last November, and yeah, it sold sometime this past week. I didn't write down the date. Oops. I actually didn't write down the sales date for the next one either, which is a Kidizen sale. I don't have a Kidizen sale every week, maybe get 1 or 2 a month, and that's okay with me. This was a pretty small sale. It was a pair of face masks from the brand Tucker and Tate. I did get these in liquidation, and I listed them back in September of last year. So again, not a quick flip. They only sold for $9, but yeah, I needed to sell them. I needed to get rid of them, so I did. And then lastly, I had 3 more orders for multiple items on my Shopify store. So if you saw my what sold video from last week about the viral video I had on TikTok where I sold a bunch of jewelry, anyways, those orders have just kind of still been randomly trickling in. So I had 3 orders of $10 each. Yeah, $10 each. And so that was $30. And yeah, I still have a little bit of jewelry left, not a ton. I have a lot of the ice cream truck earrings as to be expected. But yeah, I'll just keep them listed. And as people come across that video, if they want to purchase them, that's cool. And if they don't, that's cool also. And then I think I maybe have some of the rings left. I don't know. There's like one other style that I only have like two left of. So anyways, that is my what sold video. I hope you guys enjoyed and found it informative or fun, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.